Right.
Welcome to Still Talking Uncut. I'm your host, Big Easy, live on location in Florida. Joined by my co-host, Sean Rigsby. Got two special guests tonight. Sean's dad staying up past his bedtime.
Yeah.
Sean's daddy, the godfather of mason jars, Mr. Rick Gibson. Welcome to the show. And my man, Jimmyjax, some of the best peach liquor I done tried. If you ain't had it, then you better mortgage your house, sell your car, make your way to where he's at, and get you a jar. You'll be glad you did.
Damn.
Welcome to the show, everyone, man. We appreciate y'all having us. We appreciate you joining us. Like I said, we just got back from the jam. Jam was this weekend. Oh, man, what a great time the jam was.
Yeah, you two did. Me and Rick didn't make it.
Yeah, Sean and his dad didn't make it. I think they had was it like take your son to work day, or was it father son camp trip for the Boy Scouts? I'm not sure, but we sure we did miss both of
Daddy,
y'all.
I'm owed some fucking child support. God damn it!
Yeah, man, I wouldn't pay for that face.
Shut up.
Well, what he told me, he was knee deep in shit. So I don't know.
He was knee deep in shit. That's for sure.
Yeah, a shit baby for sure.
Right.
I felt bad for him, man. So I felt bad. He told me, he's like, man, my shit's clogged, fucking overflowing, and I'm like, oh, dude, that's fucking brutal.
I told him
Friday come. Well, you didn't get that shit pumped out till Friday, right?
Yeah, it was Friday.
Yeah, and I was like, man, see you next weekend. In case anybody's wondering, John's Jar releases this coming Saturday at Sugarlands in downtown Gatlinburg, July 29th at 1 p.m. So it's from 1 to 4 p.m. So we're going to be there from 1 p.m. to 1 a.m. Even after release, we're going to be there. We're going to have a good time.
It's only took, what, 3 years?
Hey, better late than never, you know.
Yeah, it's been longer than that. It's been longer than that, Rick.
Oh, okay. My bad.
We keep getting the shaft. You know.
Well, you know, maybe this is the first one. Rick's used to getting the shaft. I couldn't miss that one. But
Oh, look. Where are we going?
the wife must have yelled at him, or he ran out to get something. So
Wow.
I don't know. That was quick.
Damn.
Welcome back, Sean.
Working.
So, Sean, man, we got a pool going that says you're going to be late to your release.
That's cool.
And
That's cool. How much am I going to win? How much am I going to win?
you're not in it. Just I win by default if nobody else wins. So,
Hey, whatever works.
you damn right, man.
You learn from the best.
But anyways, you know, we've had Rick on before. I think he just stopped in to check on Sean, you know, keep Sean in line. He don't know where he's been at. So, new guest on the show. Welcome to the show, Mr. Jimmyjax.
Thank you.
We don't care about Rick.
We don't care about Rick.
I'm moderating.
Rick
Yeah,
is the old senior citizen that you play chess with because you just feel bad for him.
Hey, if it wasn't Rick, it wouldn't be me, man. He built that big thumper for me. It works great.
Hey, man.
That was a long time ago, too.
That's the Godfather.
Blueprints on a paper plate.
As long as Sean ain't got to put it together, you'll be all right.
Yeah, him and Alan Bishop, they struggle.
What you drinking
Hey,
on,
guys.
Sean?
So I'm that Lawrence Pritchard's that pear corn whiskey shit. Pretty
Nice.
good.
Just saw Lawrence on the American Whiskey podcast the other night.
Yeah.
Yeah, what
Love
happened
his
on that
story,
thing?
man.
Huh?
What happened on that thing?
If you know, you know.
I guess it went sideways.
If you know, you know, and if you don't, then you probably don't need to know. So, good time. Good time.
So we've had dipshit on before, but we haven't had Jimmyjax. So Jimmyjax, introduce yourself, kind of tell everybody what you have going on.
Talk about that peach.
Yeah, and just talk a little bit about you.
Yeah. Well, I'm from Dillsburg, Pennsylvania. I started out making booze back when I was about 14 years old with a family friend. Made a lot of beer when I was younger. We got into making some wines with my grandfather, dandelion wines and grape wine, some stuff like that. I got out of messing around with the stuff for quite a few years. I had my daughter, my wife, and the father-in-law at Pappy's Peach. He said, "Come on down here. Let's look at this. Watch this. You ever see this show, Moonshiners?" Yeah, no, I haven't watched it. He said, "Come on down and watch it with me." So I went down and watched it with him. He said, I said to him, "Yeah, I know how to make this stuff." He says, "Oh, you're full of shit." So I went home that night and built a still, started some mash. The next weekend he came over and I had him come over to help me on something. And he said, "God damn, you got a still running there." So I told you I knew how to make this stuff. And he, from there on out, he was all about it until he passed away. That's why we made that label, Pappy's Peach. That's his picture on there.
It's one of the best pizzas I done had.
Yeah, everybody loves it. Everybody loves it. I mean, it goes real good in some cocktails. We make a bunch of cocktails at two of my bars. I got 2 bars now. Nice. Plus the distillery. That's 8,000 square foot distillery and 2 bars. And I have a trailer. I went to a show one time with a tent and 3 fucking cars, and it took a couple hours to set this thing up. Josh Owens came and set this whole damn thing up, sold a bunch of booze, had to fill the cars back up, take it back home. So I bought a trailer and I said, "You know what? I'm never doing this bullshit again." I said, "I bought a trailer and built a bar in the back of the trailer." Right? And I'll tell you what, it works. I can pull into a show, drop the gate, be set up in 15 minutes, start selling booze or start selling cocktails. And when I'm done, shut the gate and out the road I go. And I'm done for that day there.
Yeah, quick and easy. Nice.
I'm telling you, it makes the world a lot easier. I've had a lot of people asking me, "Well, how do you get away with doing that?" I said, "Well, that's my tent. It's just on wheels, man. I don't need to set a tent and tables up. I'll set my trailer up. Be done with it."
A lot less work, man. I'm all about less work. So
right.
So when did you start moonshining?
Oh wow. Yeah. I would say 30. Well, I'm 48 now. About 31 years ago.
Nice.
Yeah, and I got away from it for quite a few years. Like I said, my daughter and my wife. I got away from it for a few years until I got suckered into restarting up again, and I went for a couple of years. Make a little here, a little there, and I got a fella drunk. My first partner, I got him good and drunk, fell off bar stool, split his head wide open. And the next day they come to me and they said, "Can you open the distillery?" I said, "Absolutely." So we can get going with that. And we got it all. I spent 4 years working on the building, and I lived there for 6 months in my camper away from my wife. I'd work a full-time job, then work on the building, and if I get tired, I go sleep in the camper. And when I wake up in the camper, I'd go work on the building. And if I got tired again, I go back to the camper. So I did that for 6 months straight. I would say my work days were at least 20 hours a day, 21 hours a day.
Yeah, between the two.
Yeah, between the two. It wore
Enough
me
to
out.
give him a heart attack.
What's that?
Enough to give you a heart attack.
Oh yeah, it gave me a heart attack and everybody, man. A lot of stress.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of stress. I mean, if you're going to open a distillery, you got to be ready. You got to be really, really ready. It takes a lot out of you. It's a lot of work, a lot of running, a lot of heartache, a lot of money. If you don't have somebody to back you with some money, or if you ain't got a bunch of money to back yourself, you might as well just give it up.
It was all the hard work worth it, though.
It'll pay off. Yeah, it'll pay off. It'll pay off.
So, what was the first still you run on?
What's that?
The first still you ever run on?
It was like I have that still now. It's right around 15-gallon pot still, an oval-shaped copper pot with a single jar thumper. Ran a worm. It was a 5-gallon bucket worm. It wasn't really a 5-gallon bucket. It was more like a galvanized galvanized bucket that was made up of worm in it. That's what I learned on. And then when my father-in-law said I didn't know how to make that, didn't know how to run a still, I actually took 2 stainless steel CO2, what the hell you call them, like soda cans they use for fountain drinks.
Yeah.
I cooked the bottom off of them, the rubber bottom, burned all that shit off there, cleaned them up real good. Made myself a 1/2-inch worm to a bucket and ran them for a couple years, just screwing around with it. And, then I got, started working my way up from there.
So did the Godfather build you a jar rig?
Boy, did he ever. Yeah.
Go ahead and tell him the story how we first met.
Yeah.
Are you talking about your first jar still or the
Start
other
at
one?
the beginning.
My 5 jar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So me
That's
and
what
Roy's
we
cousin,
do.
we're down at I already have my distillery open. I have my still was built by old CK, which we don't associate anymore. But he kept telling me, you got to check this Rick Gibson out. He can build one hell of a thumper system. I said, yeah, well, I'd like to have one, but I need to run something small before I buy something big. And he said, okay. So I talked to Rick and I said, hey, I want a 5 jar for on top of my 5-gallon pot, 1.5 outlet. Or was that a 2-inch?
I don't
was
remember.
Inch
Inch and a half, I think.
Right.
If you ask Rick, he'll tell you it's 6 inches.
So
It's all the same.
So this fella here, he said, yeah, I'll build you one. I said, when will it be done? He gave me a couple weeks. And so me and my boy's cousin were at the distillery one night and we're drinking. All bad decisions come, when you're drinking. So I told my boy's cousin, I said, let's go for a road trip. He said, where are we going for a road? I said, fucking Georgia. I said, I've been waiting forever for this little 5-gallon thumper or 5-jar thumper. I said, let's just drive down there and pick the damn thing up, drive back. I'll have it.
You had been waiting no time. You hadn't even ordered it yet.
No. So I called. So I called Rick and told him. I said, "Hey, we're coming down tomorrow morning. Pick up that still, or that thumper set up." He says, "Well, it's not even done yet. You guys are full of shit." I said, "No, we're leaving at 7:00 tonight. We're driving down there, and we're still half buzzed." So we're driving down there and picking that thing up. He said, "You guys ain't doing that." So what we do? We left at 7:00. What was it, Rick? Saturday night.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we got there Sunday morning. Left there at 7:00 Saturday night, and we started heading on down. And I texted him, said, "You got that thing ready yet?" He said, "You guys ain't on your way." So I snapped a picture on the GPS. We were in, I think we were in Maryland or somewhere. So I snapped a picture and sent it to him. And up here, when you leave PA and you're heading down 81, you're in Maryland for about 6 miles, and then 6 or 8 miles, and then you're in West Virginia for like 27 miles, and then you're in Virginia. So it's like really, really quick that you get through these, because we're not screwing around. We're driving. We're not hee-hawing. We're trying to get there and get back. So we sent him a picture, and I still don't think he believed us right away. So we hit West Virginia, sent him another picture, Virginia, sent him a picture, and he finally decided to start it. He said, so now poor guy's working all night on a still, and we're sending them pictures that we're coming in hot, man. We're hauling ass down the road. And so about about 6:00 in the morning we showed up there, right?
Oh yeah.
Walked in his shed, and here he is. He's soldering, holding his head up like solder shit. He was up all day. So we walked in, and he was doing solder, and I said, "Well, I'll tell you what, we're gonna get this done." So I helped him, sand all his fittings and all that stuff down, and he wouldn't let me do any cuts because he doesn't use a tape measure for some stupid reason. I don't know why, but everything's all crooked and shit sometimes for him.
That makes it custom, asshole.
Right. And well, I'll tell you what, it is custom, but and that thing works really well. But yeah, we helped him get the still together. And then he takes us this. We said, "Well, we're going to head back now." We only hung out for about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So we only hung out for a little bit. And he went down. He took us down to this daggone restaurant. It looked like a McDonald's with a bunch of old people cooking. The food was good, and it was kind of a strange place to go eat. I don't know, but it was good. And we had our breakfast, said our goodbyes, and drove straight back nonstop. Um, I drove back probably another maybe 3 or 4 hours till I started getting groggy, and my wife's cousin took over for a little while, and I'd hop in. We kind of tag teamed it on the way back up. But I'll tell you what, that was one hell of a ride.
Fucking crazy.
Hey, you got to help build it, a little hands-on action.
Yeah,
He
right.
had to. I was ready to go to sleep.
What's that?
He had to help. I was ready to go to sleep.
Yeah. Well, you had to go to a funeral that day, ain't?
Yeah. I had to go to a funeral. My buddy's mom passed away, and I had to go all the way down South Georgia. And it's like, oh my God. Luckily, my wife drove. I made it about the first hour, and I said, I can't do it no more.
Right.
Alan's bitching. Go ahead,
Well, I
Sean. Tell
can't-
me the story about yours and Alan Still.
Hold on. Let me see. I can turn it sideways so I can read it.
Alan Still. No, you go ahead and tell him the story.
No,
about
go
Alan
ahead,
Still.
because I didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, you did. You gave it to Sean. That's where you fucked
Oh,
up.
yeah, that was my first.
Right.
No.
Hey,
This
now,
motherfucker. I think Jimmyjax had something to do with this too. If I remember.
Jimmyjax distracted you.
it has something to do with what?
The year that I got built Sean's and Alan Bishop Still, whenever I mixed them all up in his truck.
Oh yeah. Because you sent some. Yeah, you sent some parts that like a couple different people.
Yeah, it was awesome. Then they wouldn't call me, and I'd have told them what was wrong with it.
Hey, no way.
Well, yeah. He set my still up with Big Chuck, and who was that? Tim Mackrith or whatever his name was. But Big Chuck comes rolling in at like, I don't know, 6 o'clock. Rick was getting picked up at the airport. Like, I don't even know what time that was. And he was laughing the whole fucking way up. We opened that goddamn trailer, and he had that thing duct tape and wrapped with freaking. It was horrible. And then we had to try to figure out how to put the damn thing together yet. Haven't hooked up, plumbed in before Rick got there to run the damn thing. So once he got that all done, and the next trip he come up, I figured I'd get his ass back. Yeah, right, Alan. No stickers, right? But I'm friends with some hydrometers. These guys build hydrometers, Brady Instruments. They build my hydrometers. They're all TTB, regulated and all that stuff. It's some good shit for the price. So I had them build Rick a hydrometer up that was supposed to dump. I mean, it would just drop to 200 proof, no matter what it was. It could be in freaking 100 proof, and it would say 200 proof. So I had this hydrometer built up. There was extra weight in the bottom of it, and had Rick come over running like, Rick, look at this. And it only went down. What was it? Like 190? It went down to or
That's
something.
amazing.
Yeah, it was up over there. It's like 195, 196.
That's amazing.
Right. So he we're sitting there. I pulled the hydrometer out, and I said, look at that hydrometer. And it said, got you, Rick Gibson, right on the inside of the hydrometer on the paper. And I'd say about an hour later, 2 hours later, Rick comes in. He said, Jeff, come out here quick. Check this out. And I walked in, and I'm looking down. I'm like, God damn, that thumper's really running good. I said, that son of a bitch is still at 190 proof. And he pulls the son of a bitch out. Here it was the dag one. I was like all tickled, like, damn, this thing really fucking works. It was the first time I operated it. He pulls this hydrometer out, and it said, there was the one I gave him. So he got me back on that one. But yeah, we had some good times.
What about the steak on the shovel?
Oh, the
That
shovel
motherfucker cooked the
steaks.
steak on a fire on a shovel.
Oh yeah, that was a little bit. I don't know. We didn't have no. We had back behind the distillery. I set up this little camping area back there, so we get away from everything, And we had these steaks, and one of my friends had these big steaks in their cooler, and I was like, we're all drunk, screwed up. I said, well, I'm gonna make some steaks up, and couldn't find anything to make these damn steaks. And I said, well, hell, there's a shovel. So I took some salt and pepper and put it on top of the steak, put it on a shovel, put some more salt and pepper on there, and held the shovel over the fire for a little bit. And cooking these steaks, on eating these steaks right off the shovel. That's all Rick ever talked about. He freaking loved them damn shovel steaks with a little bit of
Shovel
dirt,
steaks.
dog shit, and every damn
Hey,
thing
man.
else on it.
That is
You're
flavor.
buzzed up. You're hungry. You're gonna figure out a way, man.
Right.
And that's just
Nobody
the way it
delivering no
is.
food there.
I mean, shit, I ain't got to be buzzed up. I get hungry, I'm finding out a way.
Right.
Oh, then he takes me to this fucking 4th of July thing out in the middle of damn nowhere. And they start shooting off fireworks. They catch the goddamn field on fire, shooting it into the crowd and everything.
We had freaking 3-inch mortars zipping by our heads.
JC Hush.
Where's your unicorn?
But so yeah, man, Jimmyjax, talk about a little bit about how difficult it is to get a distillery going, aside of just the money, but like the permits and shit.
Well, it all begins with your township or your borough. Before anything, because the TTB and here in our state it's called the PLCB. They want to know that you have a place, there that your municipality will allow you to do that kind of operation, and that's the number one thing. Having that, and once you have that, you know, you can go to the TTB and apply for your ethanol license, which don't cost you anything. They just want to know where your money's coming from. Make sure you have all your equipment to do what you're planning on doing. They want to know, you know, what your gravities and your formulas and all that other happy horse shit. Just to make sure they want to know that you know what you're doing. They don't want to license somebody that just getting started out. And then once you have your ethanol license for distilling, as soon as you have that, you can automatically start making booze, but you can't do nothing with it. You just gotta you know, put it in cans or numbered cans or whatever, save it. And then keep everything logged until you get your state license. Now your state license, that cost me like I think it was $2,500 to get my state license started.
Is that per year or is that?
That's per year. Well, it's more. It was $2,500 for the application fees and your first year license.
Okay.
So, and once you have that, and then it's $1,500 a year for just the distillery alone. And we're allowed 5 different locations off our distillery, 5 different bars or whatever.
That's cool shit.
It's $200 more a year per bar that you have. They ask the same questions. You know, they want to, what equipment do you have? Where the money's coming from? You know, how you plan on bottling this? What bottles are you doing? Like I had to submit a blueprint from Waterloo container that I used for my bottles. I had to submit all that stuff to them. And then once
you didn't have to submit the thing I drew, did you?
What's that?
You didn't have to submit the drawing I did you?
No, unfortunately not. I would have got booted out for that. Actually, maybe I would have. They probably would have liked that better than an actual blueprint.
They'd have been like, do you have a kindergartner that can redo this for me?
To be honest with you,
No, you drew up his jar rig on a paper plate. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, he did.
Rick?
And did it not? Was it not right?
Yep, it was paper plate, and it came back. It was right on the money.
Nice.
I told you.
It was right on the money.
He made fun of me. I spent the night at the distillery. All I could find was a paper plate and a magic marker.
Hey,
Yeah.
man, you draw on anything, so, you know.
Right. It looked like 2 third graders. 2 third graders drew it from one side to the other. You know.
It would look like it's how it looks when I write something. It's like a third grader, you know, draw something. That's how it is, man.
Well, I'll tell you. When I drew up my red line location, they wanted a blueprint drawn up, and so I drew it up like more professional than, you know, straight lines and right measurements down to the inch and all that stuff, and submitted that. When the guy came out to inspect it, he said, where's your neutral area at in this building? I said, I didn't know I needed a neutral area. So he got out a piece of paper, and his drawings, believe it or not, were worse than Rick's on his plate. And that was the LCB. And I'm like, so why am I drawing, you know, taking all the time to make this right? and they draw like shit too.
Well, there you go. It all works.
Right. But it's getting a little easier to open them up now. Now we've got it figured out what we need to get them opened.
So, what kind of still you running at the distillery?
I have a 200-gallon all copper pot still, single thumper. I have a gallon gun condenser for the single thumper where I run my straight booze out of, and then I have Mr. Rick Gibson's Tennessee thumper. That's a 15-gallon pusher, and then we're running 8.5-gallon jars.
Nice.
So do you still? Go ahead.
Go ahead. You're good.
I was gonna say, so do you still do like the flavoring and like the infusion on weekends or whatever?
I use that. I do that on my 5-gallon with the little 5 jar. I do infusions at the bars. So I'm not allowed to. I'm only allowed to distill in one place. I can't distill in like every place I license. So I'm only allowed to distill in one place, which kind of screws it up for doing like the weekly window shines and stuff like that every week. But eventually I'm going to try to see if I can get some kind of a permit to be able to do that at least my Dillsburg location, since I'm closer to that one than my red line.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it was good. See, I got to meet John Bentz this weekend. I don't really want to talk about him, fucking John.
The first legalized moonshine. Yeah. No, JR. No. There's quite a few legal moonshiners in PA.
Well,
So,
her still at your distillery?
What's that?
Her still at your distillery?
Hell no! I told her to get that thing out of there back in February. I didn't want the drama. I was over it. You can lead a horse to a watering hole, but you can't make the son of a bitch drink. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So when you're running, do you are you one and done, or do you do strip and runs and spirit runs, or you just run one time?
When I run my thumper pot for my straight Jimmyjax or my Lightning Shack, that's just a single run right through, and I run it right on down and to start doing temperature corrections to get it to where I can put it right in the jar. I had no water. I can't stand the idea of handing out liquor that's been watered down, so I run it right down and I get what I get. So if I end up with 15 gallons or 20 gallons a run, that's all I bottle. I'm not going to add any water to it.
And then are you bottling it whatever proofs you got, or are you proofing it down with your low wines?
I proof it. I run it down. I run it down to where it's 90 proof, to where it goes right in a bottle.
Okay.
So I'm mixing. Once I get down to about 100, right around 110 proof, I start mixing, temping, temperature corrections, and I keep doing that until I get it down to where my collection is within like 0.10 of going in that bottle variance. So whenever it hits that point, I know I can stick it in a bottle that if the TTB decide they want to pull it off the shelf and test it, it's right on the money.
Nice. So if you get a jar from Jimmyjax, it ain't gonna have no water in it. It ain't gonna have no water in it, man. It's still proof.
Yep, it's right out of the still.
Way to put quality over quantity, I really like to hear that,
Right.
Putting that quality over the quantity, it's more than just about the dollar at the end of the day.
Right. It's more about the name, like not even really the name. It's more about staying true to yourself. If you start selling booze, people start finding out, like some guys are using GNS. If they find out you're running that stuff, nobody's going to want it anymore after a while.
Yep. Yeah, it's all about the return customers, not the one and dones.
Right. And that's why I got a pretty good following, and my bar, both my bars do pretty well. So, a lot of people love coming there and having cocktails and listening to music, and I don't charge anything for the entertainment. I take care of that. So the Say if they're charging me $300, that's the first $300 I make. That's got to pay for that. So I don't. What's that?
I've been to many places like, man, I'm not paying a cover charge to go in and listen to a band. I'm about to go in here and spend $100 on liquor and beer. Like I should have charged. So that's awesome. Like you're not charging people to get in to hear the music because they gonna spend a shit ton of money having a good time drinking all night anyway. So
right. Same way, like all the local bars around me, their cocktails are $8, $7, $8, $9. Some of them are $10 a pop.
Yeah.
Mine are $6. You can get a. I mean, it sounds a little high for a beer, but you can get a local craft beer at one of my bars for $6, a 16-ounce beer, or you can get a 12-ounce cocktail for $6.
That's about going rate, for craft beers and shit like that.
Right.
I mean, around here, you go in there and a bottle of Miller Lite's $4 around here.
Right.
At the bar, so it's like. That's not bad, man. Not bad at all. I'd be happy rolling there.
There's Maddie. Jimmyjax president. What the hell, Junior?
Yeah, I'd vote. Peach brandy for everybody. Peach brandy for everybody.
Old Junior there, he came down with us to Hillbilly Jam. He was a riot. He was a riot, man. We went down to Cherokee. I haven't laughed so hard in a long time. He had all these daggone Sasquatches or Bigfoot down there, and he stood there. It just stood there real still and waited for some guy to come walking by. But I scared the shit out of the guy. The dude thought he was a Sasquatch there. I'll tell you what, he's a riot. If you ever want to hang out with somebody and laugh your ass off, he's a riot.
So we got a couple guys in the chat room from Pennsylvania. They're wanting to know where you're located at in Pennsylvania.
We're at Dillsburg, Pennsylvania, just about 30 minutes south of probably not. Well, it depends on how you drive. Let's see that.
Okay, so it's an hour for most folks. If Jimmyjax says 30 minutes, it's an hour.
So it's an hour for Rick.
Yeah.
It's 30 minutes for everybody else.
Yeah. Rick rode with me one time. I mean, up here in PA, we're all raised around racing and stuff like that. So we're used to, we don't fuck around. We want to get there and get things done, But yeah, I would say probably 20 minutes south of the state capital, Harrisburg. I'm about 15 minutes from Route 81. They're on the at mile marker 48. They're York Road, so we're pretty easy to get to. We're right along.
Trees to the left and the fourth barn on the right.
Right on, right on.
So, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, man, this is the quietest I think I've ever heard Rick.
Oh, I'm listening to Jimmyjax.
My whole life.
I think the quieter I am, the less trouble I can get into. So,
come on, Rick.
If he's going to be this quiet every time Jimmyjax is around, then every time I'm around Rick, I want Jimmy there.
There you go.
Oh, damn. Come on, Ricky boy. You got.
I over prep.
Uncle Dum Dum,
show,
man. We'll see you Saturday, brother.
He's out of Red Bull and Happy Hay.
Yeah.
I've seen him on a little too much Happy Hay before.
Hey,
I'm drinking water. Yeah, I over prepped.
Yeah, me too.
I had a rough weekend, man.
Yeah,
Jam kicked my ass.
I'm drinking water and I got a bucket here sitting in front of me just in case. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to be like Sean and run to the bathroom real quick, or the bucket, or whatever he has to use right now.
That's because he's drinking Bud Light outside the door.
Yeah, he's just shitting in the yard where the tank's overflowing. Yeah. Like, let's put it right there with it.
Yeah, it's all the same.
That's the secret ingredient.
I believe that. I've tasted your show vodka. I believe that.
It ain't worth the shit. He's got a bottle of it somewhere.
I do.
Great.
Sitting on the counter. On fire? Like, that would make a good fire starter this past weekend.
I don't know. The fire would run from it.
Right on.
It's all water, huh?
That's pretty bad.
Hey, my father-in-law called it.
It's a winner. There's a difference between coming in second and winning. So there you go.
Right.
Oh, shit.
But so talk about some of the weirdest shit that you've ran compared to, like, I don't say weird, just stuff that most people wouldn't do.
Yeah, you ever do any off the wall things?
Like coffee.
I did a kiwi berry last year. A buddy of mine, lives down the road from me. He texted. He does all these exotic fruits and stuff, and he said, "You're around kiwi berry." And I said, "What the hell's that?" He says, "It's just a little berry about the size of a grape, and it tastes like a kiwi."
Really?
I said, "Well, hell, bring them on. We'll mash them in and try to make some brandy out of it."
Yeah.
So he brought these kiwi berries down. I think it was like 15 or 18 pounds of these kiwi berries. They were just little tiny little bastards.
Really?
They were good. They were good to eat. But once we got them mashed in and everything, and it took them about, I'd say about a week and a half, 2 weeks to ferment off. But we put them in a still, and I'll tell you what, they were kind of weird. They were really weird. And I told them, I said, I don't know if I really want to mess with these things anymore. I said, unless we put something else with them to kind of offset that flavor that come out of it, because it was more like you ever eat the strings off of a banana, and it make your mouth real like stick to. It was really weird.
Yeah.
But every drink you took out of that, that's what it was like. It was like you just glued your mouth shut, and I didn't care for it. He didn't care for it. I told him, I said, "We want to do it again. We're at the want to add something to it to try to offset that and get rid of that stickiness to them." But I would say that's probably the weirdest thing I've ever ran.
I've never
You
heard
need
of
to
a
make a
kiwi
lot of
berry.
that. I know a lot of people need to get their mouth glued shut.
Right? Maybe I should make some of that shit up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mix some of that up. I know a lot of people I can give that to.
Just pass it
Right.
out and don't tell them what it is.
Yeah.
Right.
Half of them
Right.
got moonshiner on their name.
What kind? Jeez, fucking Rick.
He lost it.
Got me on that one.
Come on, get your shit together, Big Ease.
I'm trying, man. Fucking Rick got me on that one. But, what kind of yeast do you
Moonshiner,
like
big
to use?
easy.
Fuck off, Rick.
I'm just saying. Got a ring to it.
Bedtime.
No, I'm up.
It's actually past my bedtime, but we're good.
Jimmy's gonna be there at 6 a.m. to pick up his new jar rig, get to work.
Okay, I'll be there at 3:30.
He's done it before.
He's
Draw
gonna
this
bring you
one
a
on a
pudding.
napkin.
He's gonna bring a pudding cup for you. That way you have breakfast in the morning.
You're gonna need
That's
some
fine.
more Red Bull.
Bring a shovel.
Pudding
Anyway,
cup, Red Bull, shovel.
Back to my question before I was rudely interrupted by the old man and his son.
Oh, bless his heart.
What kind of yeast do you like to use?
I use Star Daddy for my main distilling. At the distillery, I like to mix different yeast together when I'm screwing around with my little still. Set some yeast traps and actually get that. Use some of the yeast trap yeast. I've actually used Fletchman's, some Star Daddy, and some caught yeast, wild caught yeast, and mix that stuff together because you could change your profiles. Just with a little bit of yeast, a little bit of different water. Now I got a big spring behind my house. I live in Boiling Springs, so I actually haul water to the distillery. And I'll tell you what, the water from what I'm using now and the water I used at my first distillery, I'm getting like 5 gallons of at least 5 gallons of more yield on a run with just my water out of the spring. And I called Alan Bishop about it. I said, "Man, there's something not right here." And he's first thing out of his mouth, he said magnesium. And I said, "Well, yeah, that would make sense, And he said, the well down in Dover at my first distillery, that was a lot of iron in it. So, and I don't like to add anything to my water. I like to use just whatever it is and use it. I don't like to put buffers in it or any of that other happy horse shit. It's got to be all natural. Like my I use tomato paste for my nutrients. I don't buy Fermax and any of their bullshit and put it in. I like to use all natural stuff.
I mean, everything you add to your mash is going to change your flavor profile. So
Right.
everything will. Anything you would toss in that can change it.
Right.
Could be
Oh,
for the
absolutely.
best. Could be for the worst.
Absolutely. Yeah. You don't know until you run it.
And it might make your mouth sticky.
Yeah, it make your mouth sticky, real sticky. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. But once you get into the commercial part of it, where you're making it all the time, I mean, everybody has a love for it. You got to have a love for it.
Yeah.
And if you don't, it's going to go away. It's going to turn into more of a job than it is a hobby or something you like to do, you know. So you got to kind of balance everything with, you know, if you're in your distillery and you're running versus running at your house or in your backyard or going to somebody's house. Like that's what I'd like to do every once in a while when I have time to do it. Right now there's just no time. Like literally, I really didn't need to take time to come to the Hillbilly Jam, but that's my way to get the hell away from all this stuff and relax a little bit.
Yeah, it's definitely, you know, it's nice to get away and get around like people who love what you do and love what they do, and you just get to shoot shit, man. That was the best part about it. So
right.
It wasn't work, you know. It was
right.
It was all having a good time and drinking a little too much, you know.
Well, I didn't drink. I only drank maybe a half a shot the whole time I was down there, and that was it.
Good man. Well, I drank enough for you and I. So
yeah, I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Sean too. He wasn't there, so I made up for him and Rick.
Well, he's too busy. He was too busy trying to get the shit out of his beer, you know, with that messing around that sewer pump, you know.
It was so rough, I had to cut it.
You know what I told you to do? Give your brother-in-law the damn bucket and come on down. Tell him to get it dumped out of there, you know.
Get the scooping. Let's get it.
Yep. Just open the cap, get in there deep.
Climb in the hole.
So I heard through the grapevine a couple years ago you did something with a watermelon.
Oh yeah. How about you talk about that, Rick?
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, come on.
Did Rick just next question you?
Yeah.
Why do you have him on here tonight, Sean?
In other words, old Ricky Boy could have got raped.
Jimmyjax had this fucking watermelon in the freezer. So I got this. It was running this little 5-jar setup. So we go back and get this watermelon, and I cut a little funnel out in the top of it, and then smashed it up on the inside. And we stuck it underneath the still, so it was ice cold, and that liquor is coming out. What was it, like a 180?
Yeah, 170s, 180s.
And I shoved a pipe up in the bottom of that watermelon, so it would go through that watermelon and come out that pipe, and we was catching it to come out that pipe. Man, that shit was good as hell. I don't drink, and I got hammered.
Yeah.
Before I even realized, I got up to just go take a piss. I about fell down, had to go outside, lay across the goddamn fence, and sober up.
So you cut a funnel in the watermelon, and the liquor coming out of the end of the worm was pretty much filtering through the watermelon into the jars.
Yeah.
Right.
Nice.
Right. And that's the night that we took it over to that fireworks, and they tried to blow the place up, so that could have had something to do with that.
Could be possible.
Hey, man. All good stories always start with alcohol. So, you know, especially when you do some new shit and you're like, this is fucking awesome. And you drink too much and you're like, oh man, I had too much last night. What did we do? And then somebody's like, check out this video. And you're like, holy shit, I don't remember none of that. But that's awesome.
I do have a video of that. It's on one of the videos on TikTok.
Somewhere.
Is that the one where you're laid over the fence fucking throwing up?
No, I didn't throw up.
That's a different one.
He was hanging over the fence, though.
Is that the one where you walked Sean up the steps to his room? He was hammered me right now. Video? That's right. I caught that video in the parking lot after we dropped you guys off.
That wasn't the weekend. Was that the weekend you got to drive at Cheyenne?
No. That was your car show.
Yeah, the Apache. Yeah, it was an Apache you drove.
I think that was the weekend I drew the other still.
Yeah, I believe
so. I don't remember.
What'd you draw that one on?
That's the one I drew on the paper plate.
It's all about the paper plates, man. They work well.
No, we flew you up for that. We flew you up. Remember, we flew you up to take that measurements and all that stuff. I don't think we had anything going on that weekend.
So talk about a little bit. So that it's the 8-jar that you got. Talk about how that's built. Is that all one unit with the copper pot, and then you have like thumpers and jars, or is that something that hooks to another pot? Or
It's driven off. It's driven off my thumper on my 200 gallon. That runs at 15 gallon at the bottom. And then it comes out. Then it comes out, spreads out, goes back in, and then it goes into the first section of jars. Yeah, one of these deals. You know, got talk in my hand. I don't have any pictures here of it, to be honest with you.
Draw one on a paper plate.
Yeah, let me draw it up for you real quick.
Hey,
Yeah,
that's
draw
a
it.
good
Hey, wait,
one.
I think that. What's this?
That is
Oh,
a
here
good
we
one,
go.
George.
Hey, he's going to hit his Bud Light can on it while he's over
Yeah,
there.
he is.
He's gonna use a fucking. He's probably gonna use a pink crayon.
So after Rick's done drinking his Bud Lights, he turns them into roach cans so he can suck on the Bud Light can.
Right.
Turns them into little bowls. So
Yeah. So last year I actually figured out how that you could be in the middle of a run and them jars would fill up reflux, and I figured out how to siphon in the run. I don't shut it down no more. I just siphon all the reflux out of it and keep on running. I put some extra bling on it.
So you're able to remove the buildup in there while it's running instead of being a dumbass like me, just cutting the heat off and taking the jar off and dumping it out.
Right.
See, that was the cutting the heat off and dumping the jars. I'm pretty sure that was Rick's idea.
Yeah.
I'm sure
So
it
I kind of updated it a little bit,
It works. You know.
I told Rick, I said, you got to start doing these to the jars. He said, fuck that. Let everybody else deal with it.
Dump 'em
Oh,
out.
man. I like it sketchy, so
Not everybody runs a 200-gallon pot either, Jimmy. So
Right. Well, I'm fixing to go bigger. I want to go to 550.
oh man. You get that 550 in there, let me know. I'm gonna drive over and see it.
Right.
Are
And I'm
you on
building.
I'm not familiar with Pennsylvania. Are you on the eastern or the western side?
I'm in the middle.
right in the
right
middle.
Yep. I'm just.
I think you're like 6 or 7 hours from me.
All right.
Yeah.
It takes me 5 hours to get to Pittsburgh.
So you're 4 hours from me then. If you're at,
Okay.
because it takes me 4 hours to get to Pittsburgh from where I'm at. I can
We'll
be
have
in
to
New
make a road
York
trip,
City in
John.
about 2.5.
Do what?
oh god, Kim was coming in hot. He's not going to come in as hot as he did that night coming to his house when you started up his 3-wheeler and sending
Oh,
the video.
yeah. I fired that 3-wheeler up. He come in real hot.
Well, was he asleep?
No, he was out doing something. I think he was at the farm
You're
or
damn
work.
right, man.
Can't
He's at
remember
a
where
bar
was.
somewhere.
He was somewhere, but yeah, Rick was on the phone and I fired up that 250R and it wasn't even minutes later. He come flying in the driveway.
He doesn't know Jimmy's going to get it out and tear it up.
Never.
What was that race car you had in your parking lot that time?
That was a micro
Sprint
sprint.
car?
That was a micro sprint. Yeah.
You about killed everybody in the parking lot.
No. We just stood it up on the ass end a little bit,
Had a little fun,
right?
Oh yeah.
Well, you still out your wife videoed that, eh?
Uh-huh. There's a video somewhere.
Right. Yeah, that was a drinking night. You shouldn't have got in that thing.
Here's
my
A good
girl.
time was had. That's all that mattered in the end.
That was
Nobody
definitely not
died.
OSHA
Nobody
approved.
went to jail, and you had a good time. So that's all
Right.
that mattered.
That was definitely not OSHA approved.
No, that was like at midnight, something like that. We were running that thing around.
As long as you're forklift certified, then it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. You're good.
You just got to watch a video or two and you're good.
Oh yeah, that's what YouTube's for.
Yeah.
Right.
That's awesome.
Hell yeah. There's Benny. What's going on, Tater?
Rick, are you making it to Sean's release next week?
I'm trying to.
Cool.
I want to go up there and
there,
get my
man.
camper, so I may make it all just one trip.
Hell
Well,
yeah.
grab me 2 jars.
All right.
We need one for drinking and one for the shelf back here. I got Jimbo Braze. I have some of his stuff. Crazy Chuck. I got some Jim Tom sitting there. Oh, I got some other ones at the bar too. But what's that there?
apple brandy I got from my buddy at the gym.
Nice.
Somebody asked what I was sipping on.
Nice. Yeah, I got booze from all over the place. Hell, I
I
even
got a
got
trunk full. I got a trunk full of shit.
Did you ever see one of them?
Oh no shit. Hold on. That's what's the name, isn't it? Chico, yeah.
Yeah, when they brought in my 200-gallon pot still, he came along to help set up my pot still and gave that to me.
He stayed awake long enough to do that?
Well, I got him so fucked up he passed out in the hallway.
Yeah.
I believe I've seen a picture of that. His hat over his face.
Yeah, on a purple I call
Couch.
it. Yeah, the purple thingamajig that blows up.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I haven't heard from him since.
Purple fucking Jesus. Oh, you fucking guys. That shit. There's just no slack around here, man. That's awesome. There's
What's
just no
that?
slack around here.
People beat me up about dumb shit.
Always.
What
That's
happened?
all right.
No, I need to know what happened so I can make fun of him.
Purple
Right.
Jesus.
Purple Jesus.
No comment.
You gotta ask for it and then pass it up, man.
Yeah, well, no comment on that. I have
Alright.
nothing productive to add to that.
Yeah, understandable.
Well, Junior just got home. It was his first time at the Hillbilly Jam, and he got broke in pretty well. I mean, what's her name? Christy. Party
Oh,
girl.
he's seen the
She was in
titties?
it. What's that?
He's seen the titties?
Oh, he's seen the titties.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, he's seen the titties. And all. I mean, it was bad. It was real bad.
Oh.
She was out of control. But she does it once a year, so let her have at it.
Yeah, I got the
Okay.
drone footage.
Once a year. You say drone footage, what you do? Hold your phone up like this?
No, Jimmy
No,
Jack.
you know
You got
damn
the
well
picture too,
jitterbugs
Sean.
don't have cameras on them. They don't
No, I
put
have my
cameras on
drone out.
jitterbugs.
Oh, Sean
bro.
got some drone footage too.
Sean got the pictures.
Yeah.
Jitterbug. Yeah, motherfucker, send them to me. Hey, look at this.
Why you didn't send them? Fuck you, man. Why you didn't send them over here so I can view?
I got them for you.
My man.
I got them for you.
Sean.
Yeah,
I've got
yeah.
That's okay.
You look out for me.
Poor Dave Adams. I thought he was getting raped.
Oh, God.
Yeah, she was after him hard.
Who?
Christy.
No shit.
Yeah,
Was after who?
She was just carrying on, just carrying on with him. But yeah, it was funny.
Was his wife with him?
Yeah, she wasn't thinking too much of that.
Who was it? That was.
Dave Adams.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Yeah,
That's a match made in heaven right there.
I'm telling you. But yeah, it was a good time. It was a lot of fun.
So,
They're good people.
anybody got any questions for Jimmy or Rick or Sean? Don't ask me shit, 'cause I don't know. I'm just a personality.
I don't answer questions.
I have no knowledge to give. I'm just a personality that busts Sean's balls. So
So what are we doing? Somebody asking questions?
You guys look like Backstreet Boys.
like the old retired version, you know, like
Nothing like.
he's
Yeah.
the milkman.
He's a lot uglier.
Yeah, he's got the wrong dress on tonight.
How you tell him he's the milkman?
He's a garbage man.
Horse.
Garbage man, son.
He's garbage man. That's a good one, Rick. Knowing what happened went down, he's a garbage man.
What-
Fuck.
You
Josh
fuckers
Carey
are on
asked me
fire
earlier.
tonight.
Josh Carey asked me earlier to ask Sean about why his beard stinks. I don't know what that's all about.
Sean can take it. He ain't got no.
Can you
feelings
elaborate?
later.
Can you elaborate, Sean, what he's asking about?
What's he talking about?
I'm not
I don't
really
know.
sure. I'm assuming he's talking about the shit show over the weekend.
You mean
Possible.
the week?
Probably
fuck it,
possible.
it's-
So Sean's messaging me all week, messaging us all week talking about his septic tank and this and that. And, we're like, damn, that sucks. And then we're just beating him up over it the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
Huh.
That's
But
good
then,
for
at
him.
the end, I'm like, bro, if you need help shoveling shit, just say the word, man. I will come help you. I ain't got to like it, but I'll come help you.
At least push him down in it first.
Exactly. I mean, you can't have one without the other, Rick.
Well, there you go.
That's just the way it is. So
I mean, it's not my first time. It wasn't my first time playing in shit. So I mean,
I'm sure it wasn't. You wear those stupid fucking duck boots everywhere you go.
Well, I mean, you work at a shit plant. I mean,
but he's an executive
why did you
now.
take your work home with you last week, Sean? You're not supposed to take your work home.
He's an executive now at the shit show, at the shit plant.
Hey man, look.
He's a scientist.
If I wore those, had I come to the jam this weekend, I probably should have worn my duck boots with all the bullshit going on.
Hey, it was a good time.
It was
bullshit free at the jam. It was a good time. But yeah, it was a great time. So Jimmyjax, what's your out of all the things that you make at your distillery, what's your favorite thing to make? Like, do you have one that you enjoy making more than others because you like the way how it ferments and the way it tastes, or is it just like?
I'll tell you what I like. It's more time consuming, but I like making the Pappy's Peach.
Hey man,
it's a 2-day process.
Every minute. It's worth every minute.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a 2-day process to make that. But I mean, I like
goat fuckers.
What's that?
Sean and his goat fucking boot.
Duck boots. Sheep fucker.
That's so the goats can't run away in the rain.
He got his trained anyway.
Yeah, fucking send him some yellow hip waders.
I enjoy the peach, man. So I'll never forget when Sean let me try it, and I'm just like, bro, yes. Let me get a jar. And he didn't let me get the jar, so.
Right.
But I got to try it.
We mix that with some unsweetened tea. That makes a really good summer drink. It's not real overbearing with sweetness when it's in the tea, and gives it a nice peach flavor.
Really, Tater?
What's that?
Tater talking shit.
I know one thing
And
on you, or, well,
What's that?
Tater.
You really want to get into it, Tater?
The Tater beat my ass on Saturday evening.
Yeah, I heard he couldn't fight his. He couldn't fight out his way out of a wet paper sack.
Tater assaulted me on his way out. We can drive by.
Fucking guy. Oh, he's a lot of fun too. I like hanging out with him.
I love Tater, man. He's a good dude, man.
One thing about it, don't shake his hand and lie to him at the same time. I've seen what happened with that.
Yeah, we went when we left here Wednesday. Tuesday night we left here, stayed overnight in Bristol, went down there in the morning and had some breakfast and caught up with Tater and Danielle, her distillery. That's a really cool place. A really cool place they got going on there.
You talking about Shine Girl?
Yeah, Shine Girl. I'll tell you.
I try to go by there Saturday before I go to Sean's release.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. It's a really neat little place there they got going on. Yeah, I like that. Little bar, a nice little bar. It's right off the beaten path. It's not like right in the city. And I'd rather hang out there at that place than go down to town Gatlinburg or whatever. And have to deal with a bunch of people, outside. But yeah, she's definitely got it going on there.
So my favorite thing in the whole distillery is the bathroom sinks.
Yeah, all the piping.
Yeah.
Yeah, I took a picture of that. Yeah, I took a picture of that. It's pretty neat how that's set up. The only bad part about it is up here they regulate. Is that Tater from the Moonshiner Show? Oh, but no, I took a picture of that, and the only bad part about up here in PA, they want you in a commercial building that you have to be able to regulate your hot water. So that there was set up basically, you got hot and you got cold, you had to regulate your own water. But yeah, it was definitely cool. I liked it. Nice. Come on, Rick, you're quiet.
I'm just listening. What are you doing, Sean? What are you sniffing on?
Huh?
You're smelling it? You're supposed to be drinking, not smelling it.
Fucking good piss.
Is that your wine decanter? He's got a wine decanter.
Oh my god!
It looks like a glass to me. I'm not real smart.
A
Is that white
glass. That's
wine?
not a fucking glass.
Is that a
it's not?
Pinot Noir?
But I bet you,
Look at
I
it.
bet you if I screwed it on a fucking mason jar lid, it'd probably bust.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't know which way to go with it, you dipshit.
I'm not Donnie Benton, okay?
I drew arrows on it for him.
Sean needed stickers like number 1 on this pipe here goes to number 1 on this pipe there. Number 2 goes to number 2.
You can't put numbers. He can't count but 3.
I will not discuss this without my lawyer, Mr. Bishop.
Oh yeah.
So Sugarlands must have got to him.
Yeah.
Oh, here we
Mr.
go.
Official.
Yeah, you finally got a jar coming out. Now you changed, huh?
Yeah.
Oh
right.
yeah.
I
We
I
noticed
see
can't
how
say
that-
nothing. Be nice.
all of a sudden he just went. It just got quiet. You know. He was.
Well,
he was
he's
all
gotta
about
go up there with
tearing
his
it up. Now he's
brotherhood.
not.
They talk about sitting around the campfire and shit. You know, it's a brotherhood.
Right.
Let me go
right.
ahead and put Moonshiner in front of my name real quick. Hold on.
You got it wrong. It's circle and
Oh, is it? Okay.
yes.
2 at once. Fuck right, man. Rick Aylau back on.
So when you guys plan on coming up?
I don't know.
Here at the end of August, we got this big steam show. Got Jerry Benson coming, and I think Crazy Chuck's coming up.
When at the end of August, because we're going to the Farm to Bottle the 24th.
Bobbidle. What's a bobbidle?
Yeah,
Bobbidle.
24th to 25th.
Now he pipes up. What's a bubble?
Right.
Bottle.
A bobbidle?
Yeah.
When we want Rick to bring his grandson up so he can ride around tractors. I mean, they don't have no fucking John Deere's down there in Georgia. His grandson likes John Deere, so at least
They just
train
ride
him right.
cousins.
I mean-
They just ride cousins from place to place.
Come on, man.
Shit, them tractors scare the shit out of him.
No. Once you get him up on one and start riding around with him on it, you won't be able to get him off of him.
Yeah, I don't know.
You never know until you try.
Got him a dump truck be here Thursday.
But you get him a triaxle?
That's I don't know. It's a Caterpillar dump truck that you ride on.
So are you going to do the test driving for him?
Yeah, it's got a remote control.
Hey,
Okay.
Damon, I'm on Discord.
All you got to do is swing the door open, step in, man. You're set to roll.
Ready to rock and roll.
Hey, Jim, message me on Facebook. I'll help you out, bro. I'm answering questions. Y'all just ignore me.
Why can't we answer questions too?
Because you got to click the chat button so you can read the chat.
Where's that at?
It's at the bottom of your screen. Click chat and then click comments and you can read them.
I don't see it.
You can't read anyways. So.
I
Put
see
your
chat.
put your papaw glasses on, man.
Some things are popping up.
Come on, get down here.
Yeah, because I'm doing it for you.
That's what Sean's putting up. But
Oh, you're a douchebag, so I'm not seeing everything, so I can't
no,
be making
you're not
fun of
seeing
shit.
everything. Like you have to click on
Well-
chat or more, and you have to click on comments.
To
Click
fucking
on more,
be on a
click
podcast
comments.
for dummies.
There's not no more.
Well, then
I got
you're just,
comments
it is what it
popping
is,
up.
Rick. There aren't any comments. We're just fucking with you.
Man, fuck y'all.
There aren't any comments.
This is why I don't like y'all.
Oh,
Right here.
whatever. You
This
love
is
us.
exactly why I don't like y'all.
You can't see the comments, Rick?
Hey, I did
No.
miss you at the jam this year,
I mean,
Rick.
they're popping up right here below you.
I miss
I see
miss you.
Top
I miss
Cam.
your super red eyes. I miss trying to peel him off the bed because he's stuck to the bed. I have to send
Why
John
are
in
you
to
talking
help
shit
him
about
peel
red
off.
eyes? Look at your cheeks.
Hey, I'm in Florida,
Well, fuck,
man. We
look
was
at
in
my
the sun
whole
all day. I know. I got burned up at the gym.
Need to wear a hat.
It was a good time. I can't do it. It hurt my head. My head's too big. They don't make hats big enough.
I got a bucket.
You need Tater to read directions?
Huh?
I said, do you need Tater to read directions?
Seniors in technology
That's your
doesn't
call.
mix. Nice.
There's no comment button on here. I think you're lying.
I am. You know, I just like messing with you, man.
Oh, I'm gonna figure it out. I'm coming back on here again when I can read comments.
Hey, Rick, just pull your phone out and
Oh,
put
good idea.
your glasses on. Put your glasses on, and you can You can look
Mute-
up.
Good idea. Now y'all are fucked.
Mute your phone and hop on Facebook or YouTube. But you got to mute your phone, or we're going to get a bunch of echo.
Yeah, you're gonna need a 10-gallon bucket for that jug head, Rick.
All right. Well, now that Rick has figured out how to see comments, we're coming up on the end of the show. We've had y'all here for about an hour. We're gonna let y'all go for the evening.
Are you fucking kidding me?
What?
It's been an
I'm
hour.
tired of y'all.
Come on.
Huh?
It would
I'm
take
still
a
figuring it out.
That's a good one.
Nobody's saying nothing. Y'all are full of shit.
We are. You're right.
Yeah.
So
Oh
we
my
just
God.
make shit up all the time.
So we have accomplished absolutely nothing.
No, we
What-
didn't.
No, we got to hear Jimmyjax speak, and we got to hear some stories. And so, hey, Rick, what's the favorite thing you ever built? What's the favorite thing you've ever built for anybody, man? And what was it? Since you didn't talk the whole damn show except to give Rick, your boy shit, Rick Jr.
I would
shit.
say Jimmyjax, and then Alan Bishop's, and then that one that Sean let somebody blow the fuck up.
Oh, dude, that thing was beautiful. The Hall Brothers, man. Oh, I can't.
And then I guess it would be the one that got confiscated up there, Mannix.
Oh,
That was
Rich
fucking
Bennett?
pretty nice.
I tell you, I really like that rig you built for old. What is it? Golden Beaver.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that
like
was a nice
rig,
setup.
man. That's beautiful stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. I liked the way Jimmy's was just because it had the window thing and the, his big steel too. So
And you
Right.
created it on a paper plate.
yeah,
Right.
for everybody else.
Earlier
to
called
copy.
it CAD, cardboard aided drawing. That was
You don't need none of that shit.
cardboard aided.
It does the job too. It works good.
Okay, JC. There's no button on there.
You're good, man. You're good.
No, we're not.
You're fine. So,
He
but
can
anyway,
read comments.
this
but
is a
the
good time, man. I'm glad I
No.
made it here today. I wasn't sure I was going to make it this evening, so I'm glad this worked out. It was a good time.
But
Oh
so-
yeah, we're all glad we got to talk to you.
Yeah, I'm glad you was quiet. Glad I got to hear Jimmy speak.
Well, that's,
Yeah. Well, he was being nice, so
Yeah,
I'll take it.
I was actually being nice.
this was the opposite of what we were supposed to do, Jimmy. That's why
Right,
I've
I
been
know.
quiet, because you were
I
supposed to
know.
be raising hell the whole time.
Yeah, we are. I mean, hey,
Sean put the kibosh on most of it.
we could do another hour just raising hell if you want.
Yeah.
so what?
Let's get it.
So talk about at your distillery. You've done some collaborations with different people, and actually, one of them was a guest on here not too long ago. Let's talk about a little bit about that, Jimmy.
So yeah, we did a snow cream with Mary Alice and Tracy Van Fleet, and we did the watermelon with Rodney and Margie. And I'll tell you what, like every time we come down to Hillbilly Jam or anywhere, we always buy a bottle from them. And I told him, I said, one day, I want to buy that recipe and pay you royalties on one of the jars that we sell just for that recipe. So we collaborated with them too on them, and it got them up and running. So now I'm paying them, I'm paying them royalties on every bottle I make and sell. So now every last winter it was kind of slow for us. So things kind of got a little rocky with me getting payments and all that stuff out. But we got everybody squared away, and now we're on the right path down the road. So the main goal is here in the next year or so is trying to get into their states so we can get their bottles in the liquor stores in their states to where they can go and do meet and greets with folks and stuff like that, and try to help promote all their own booze. But yeah, I'm grateful for them recipes that they come up. They personally came to my distillery and helped me make them. And I told them, I said, whatever you guys wanted, that's where we're going to put it. So and they got to try it with my material, and they liked it like that. So they just kept on. That's how we kept making it. But yeah, it's spot on with what they make.
Nice.
Well, Yeah, there's some awesome people though. If you want to,
Yeah.
you guys know them. So
Do you have any plans on really, I don't know, expanding, or are you in liquor stores, or are you just in your
Nope.
distillery or
I'm
bars?
just in my distillery, the 2 bars. I'm not really gonna mess around with the state of PA. You know, I'm put my bottles in. If people want it in PA, they can come to me and get it.
Is it a huge hassle to get your bottle in liquor stores there like it is here in Ohio?
Yeah, they beat you down. I mean, they beat you down price wise to where you can't really make much out of it. You know, and that's what I see. A lot of these distilleries are buying in off-site alcohol and mixing it because you can buy that fairly cheap and mix all your booze up. But I don't want somebody coming to my distillery and buying a bottle of my booze and then going to a liquor store in a different area and get it say, well, this ain't the same. It's something not right there. And that's how people figure out you're not using your own material to make your alcohol. So I'd rather just say, well, if I'm out of something, you're just gonna have to wait till we get it back in the bottle again. But so far, I've been keeping up with everything, fairly decent. So I don't think we'll have any problems there. What did you, man?
There you go, Jimmy. How you gonna answer that one? Need help reading it? Let me read it to you.
I'm trying to read
Jimmyjax.
You get your spectacles out, Rick.
Let me read it for you, Jimmy. Can you read it?
Yeah. Did you make with Amanda still teaching you things? She ain't teaching me nothing. No, she ain't teaching me nothing. She's a very smart girl. I'll give her that. She's a very smart girl. She's real book smart, crazy book smart. You give her a book, she'll read it every night. She's done it here at my house, and she can tell you all about that book every night. But at the end of the day, she's got a long way to go. I mean, it takes years to learn how to do what we're doing on our own. We've learned through ancestors and
I can't even look at all the pictures in a book overnight. So
that's
right.
Shut up,
Right.
Sean. Pull your hair back again. Your forehead's as big as Big Easy's.
Yeah.
Right.
Pull it back again. Show him that bald spot.
Look at you.
Let's
You're
see that
shooting no
reset.
fucking better than mine.
He's
Are
like
you
80.
kidding?
I mean, Rick's like 80. He's got an excuse.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be
Right.
bald, you dipshit.
But I'll tell you, I'm going to be honest. I mean, I wouldn't say nothing on here. I wouldn't say to somebody personally, plain and simple, But she's got a long way to go, and when she gets there, she'll be doing good. But if that birdie hangs over her head too long, she ain't going to get very far. I'm just being honest.
Oh, I know what birdie it is.
Right.
That's a good
And
point.
so does she. And I really don't give a shit. So that's why I stepped away.
Ooh.
Oh, man. Don't.
Now, see, this is
Dehydrating.
getting fun.
Dehydrating yeast.
Yeah, you're drinking out of a little fancy cup.
Who dat?
The cancer.
Hey,
Why don't you
there's
spin
a
it around a
Or
little
wait,
bit?
that's
then
a
smell
wine
it?
tumbler. I'm sorry. That's a tumbler.
Is that a tumbler?
That's a tumbler.
So he got a sippy thing that goes on top of it?
Or you
I
still
bet he
do
does. Pop your lid on there.
Put the lid on there, douchebag.
rehydrating?
There ain't no lid. So,
Ooh, living large.
are you dehydrating the yeast that she showed you, or like she showed you?
No. No.
What's
We
that
made
about?
we made her a mash up here, and got it all together. And I grabbed the yeast and just dumped it in her mash, and she about flipped out because I didn't rehydrate it and get it going with warm sugar water, and get it going and dump it in.
Some people like to pitch their yeast separately and then dump it in. I've seen it. I'm like, it's a temp, man. Just put it in there.
Don't matter.
Right. Well, I dumped it in, and she about freaked out. I said, you don't have to do that. Oh yeah, no, you don't have to do that. Yes, we're gonna get this thing going. So I did that, capped it all through the airlock on it. Took her up to the VFW and got some lunch, and we were there for maybe half hour, 45 minutes. Came back down to the distillery. And I said, "You smell that?" She goes, "Yeah, I smell that." And she put a little smile on her face. And we walked in the door. I said, "We hear that?" She goes, "Yeah, I hear that." I said, go in there and look at your airlock." And she walked in and that thing was just a freaking hammering away. I said, "Well, guess we don't need to hydrate it, do we?" You know, that's some things you got, you know, that I had to teach her. You know, you don't need to hydrate your yeast just to get it going at something like that. And, you know, there's a lot of guys that do, you know, and I don't have a problem what they do. They do what they do. That's how they know how to do it. I know what I know, and that's how I do it. So that's the way I do it.
Yep. So, you know, you always pass on your knowledge that you always pass on your knowledge. So,
Right on.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. You know,
That's why I don't take Sean on to talk to people.
Right.
You can pass his knowledge real quick. Like,
Right.
You know, that says a lot for some people.
put sugar in water and add yeast.
yeah.
Hey, that's, you know, well,
Hey, that
What's
makes
your temperature gauge? You're going to run a keg for 12 and a half hours.
15.
Yeah.
Get it right.
I'd
Drip,
take
drip.
that fucking keg and I would strap it behind my truck and drag it to fucking Ohio. It took 12 hours or
You're more
15
welcome
hours.
to down run mine.
who the fuck takes 12 hours to run a beer keg?
Oh, I don't know. I just been reading some of the stuff on some of those groups
No, why aren't you commenting?
because it does no good.
You're right. You're right about that. It does no good to comment on Facebook groups, but
It does
you
no
see it,
good.
man. There's
All it
guys
does is
that'll
get
take
me
15
banned and
hours
fucking
to
in
run
trouble.
3 gallons of mash, or or run a keg. It's crazy, man.
What's
peaches or bananas? That's
Favorite
me.
fruit to use to make brandy? I made
I'm
a lot
peaches
of
or
peach
bananas.
brandy.
Yeah.
Musky Dons.
Musky Don?
I've never made it with muscadines. Well, they're not around here. You know, you can't just go get muscadines here. So
Why not? They grow in the woods.
We're on the wrong side of the Mason-Dixon line. before you
yeah,
fucking-
Oh,
we're
yeah,
on
I
the side of
forgot.
the Dixon line we're at.
I
Right.
forgot.
I used to go to the local farmers market at the end of their weekend and get, you know, big totes of their fruits and just mix them all together and make a fruit cocktail brandy. I'll tell you what, sometimes that turns out pretty good too.
Yeah. So Matt, it's a fruit cocktail. What you got, toss it in there. So
Right.
hey, Rick,
Right.
go in the woods and pick me 50 pounds of muscadines
I'm not picking
and
that
send them
shit.
up here.
That's why I don't do it.
Take the grandkids out and say, whoever picks me up the most muscadines gets a $5 bill.
Oh,
Yeah.
you cheap.
That's gonna take a minute.
You damn right.
Yeah.
They're little, man. They think $5 is a lot, but
Right.
Yeah, but
right.
they're not going to do no work.
hey, as long as you wind up with, as long as they pick it up, man. So, but
So how did you guys meet each other?
Couldn't hear you.
How did you guys meet each other? You and Rick?
Who?
Through
Yeah,
his
Rick.
cousin,
yeah,
Chris.
how you know Rick?
Through Rick's cousin Chris,
That's Jimmyjax's cousin.
Chris Kelly.
So y'all have a common cousin, so you're related. Sean,
Yeah.
that means you're related
Somehow,
to
yeah.
Jimmy.
That's like being in Alabama.
So
Something
now
like
Jimmy Jimmy is Sean's uncle. Change his name to Sean's uncle. Old Moonshiner Rick. Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
Man, I didn't even see that till now, you asshole.
All right. I think we've had everybody on here long
20,000
enough.
20,000 pounds in a freezer. What do you got in the freezer, John?
20,000 pounds of something. That's a lot.
Dresses.
It's not going to fit in that little cup you got.
That's a goddamn big freezer, I'll tell you. 20,000 pounds.
Man, he's a good dude. But all right, man. We've had everybody here long enough. This after show is going to be lit. Too bad y'all can't see it.
What do you mean after show? I want to be part of it.
Yeah, stick around, dumbass. Don't click the X and leave, and you can stick around for the after show.
Oh, okay.
Trust me, everybody, I wouldn't talk shit about nobody unless I would
No,
talk to
I won't say nothing about nobody. I won't say to you.
Right.
Sean, man, get your dad. Help him out. But anyway, we hope everybody has a great night. We appreciate everybody tuning in. Jimmyjax, man, we really appreciate you here. Rick, anytime you give us your time, man. Godfather Mason Jars. We love it. Sean, I enjoyed seeing you. It's exciting to get to see you this weekend. I don't know how I missed you, Jimmy. don't know how I missed you this weekend. It was fucking crazy.
Yeah,
It was
something
crazy at
like that.
Hillbilly Jam. It was a great
What?
time. So
Well, I
hopefully
missed
y'all
Hank
too.
Williams Jr., so I'm not happy about that.
Yeah, it wasn't Hank Jr.
You was hanging out with too many moonshiners to meet Jimmyjax,
I guess
Yeah.
so, man. I guess so. But
swapping stickers.
I heard
we
some
love
of them
all
got
y'all.
gold
We
boots.
appreciate you being here. We hope everybody has a good night. Check us out on Spotify. If you are in Gatlinburg on July 29th, this coming Saturday from 1 to 4 p.m. is going to be Sean's release. I'm going to be there. Sean's going to be there. Rick's going to be there. Don't let him lie. And there's going to be a lot of other guys there. We're going to have a good time. We're going to party from 1 p.m. to 1 a.m. So come and try. I'm going to say the best berry-infused moonshine you'll ever try. And, you know, I got to give Sean a little props on that one.
What?
What? That's exactly the response I expected, man. So
You gonna bring your little cup?
Yeah, I'll bring it for you.
Bring
Okay,
your
thank
decant-
I
you.
got two of them. One for
Bring
me
your
and one for
tumbler.
Daddy,
Bring your
right?
tumbler.
All right,
So-
I get the bigger one.
Yeah, Dad always gets the bigger one, just like he gets the big piece of chicken. So. But anyways, Gatlinburg this Saturday, downtown Gatlinburg at Sugarlands. Sean's release 1 to 4. See you there if you're there. If not, we're gonna talk about it on Monday. So thanks again for being here, Jimmyjax, Moonshiner
thank you.
Rick. Loved having you here, man. Love you guys. Hope
I
everybody.
need to
has
get me a
great
different
night.
hat now.
We'll see you next Monday at 9 p.m. Who we got? We got Big Chuck, right? Who we got?
I think so, yes. I can't remember.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see y'all later, man. Have a great night. Don't click the X, Rick. So, y'all
All right.
take care, man. Everybody
See y'all
shine
later.
on.